moment. We came from the ground and now we champion, 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 champion.
Nightfall at Drive Pink Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and the final spot in the Concacaf Gold Cup on the line. Guadeloupe taking on Guatemala in Fort Lauderdale. Mike Watts on hand for the call, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. There is some rain in the forecast throughout the day. It has continued on and off throughout this evening, and there is certainly a highly partisan Guatemalan crowd here. Trinidad and Tobago in penalties over French Guiana 8-7, 1-1 in regulation. Haiti 4-1 over Bermuda are through to the group stage of Gold Cup as well. What's on the line tonight? Well, if you win, you're into Group C of the Concacaf Gold Cup. That means you'll face Costa Rica in the opener in Orlando, a couple hours to the northwest of Fort Lauderdale. You'll also see Jamaica, who've reached multiple finals in the last decade, and Suriname in the final game of the group stage in Houston. Well, Haiti has guaranteed their ticket to Sunday against the U.S. Trinidad and Tobago, their place against Mexico in Arlington on Saturday against El Tri. But for these two teams, the expectations are highly different. Guatemala is a country with an immense football history, but they've been brought to their knees over the past half-decade. They finally can return to the place they belong, the biggest stage in CONCACAF. Guadeloupe has a chance to make history tonight. Their arrival to this point is remarkable. They've described a win against Guatemala as the impossible. And so Guatemala and Guadeloupe take the field under a bit of rain in South Florida and a good crowd behind them. The anthems to play. This preliminary round comes to its thrilling conclusion. Guadeloupe and Guatemala at the CONCACAF Gold Cup prelims.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats to the flame of the national anthem of Guatemala.
Guatemala, Guadeloupe closing in on kickoff. Amarini Villatoro sending out this starting 11 for Guatemala. They've made only one change. Matan Peleg goes to the bench. Jose Martinez comes in up front, the star for Municipal in Guatemala. You see their tactical alignment. Darwin Lam has shown a good scoring touch up front as well. And Nicholas Hagen starts in the back, the most experienced goalkeeper on their roster. You see Ronan Hotterville, who does play in the domestic league in Guadeloupe there, 31 years of age, preparing to captain the side in one of the biggest games in Guadeloupe's history. Our on-field officials all hail from Mexico. Fernando Hernandez will oversee the match. Jose Torres from Puerto Rico is the fourth official. Captains meeting here, Hotterville and Jose Pinto, who's among the stars at Comunicaciones in Guatemala. The referees will have help with a video assistant referee, Eric Miranda from Mexico, Tatiana Guzman from Nicaragua, the assistant. The starting lineup for Guadeloupe under Jocelyn Ngloma, who's got quite a history himself. Played in the 07 Gold Cup for Guadeloupe as well after a good career for the French national team. It'll be Thuram in goal. Saint-Maximin playing in midfield is just seeing his second cap, will drop into center back. And the opening goal against the Bahamas was from Matthias Phaeton, who plays up front. He's in the French second division for club. But now for country. Guatemala have to be the favorites, and not by a small margin. We've seen fairly competitive matches in this third day of preliminary matches. This is the one that people feared could go the wrong way quickly, because Guatemala is a giant hoping they've awoken from a 6-year slumber at the Gold Cup. Gone are the days for Guatemala of oversight committees and trying to reaffirm their place in FIFA. No, they are back. And the expectation is the side that dominated CONCACAF Nations League C can carry that performance here against Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe went all the way to the semifinal in 2007. Can they run it back? To do so, they'll enter into a group with Costa Rica. But any hope of getting there starts with the match here against Guatemala, who seek their first Gold Cup appearance since 2015. The countdown is on in Fort Lauderdale, the final preliminary game. Phaeton, the opening touch for Guadeloupe as they square off with Guatemala. A place in Group C of the CONCACAF Gold Cup awaits the winner. And if that's not a clear, decisive blow from the crowd early on, Guadeloupe into possession and instantly booed. Guadeloupe, a nation of 400,000, over 6 inhabited islands in an archipelago south of Antigua and Barbuda and Montserrat. Meanwhile, Amarini Villatoro leads the side, a 36-year-old Guatemalan fighting for a country of 17.3 million. Saint-Maximin backing off, putting his hands up as if to say, no, no. Guatemala will work from the back through Pinto. The pressure from Guadeloupe early on, impressive to say the least. Let's be very clear. Jocelyn Ngloma has played in bigger games than this. And he's carried an attitude with him that Guadeloupe not only belongs on this stage, but that they shouldn't fear Guatemala. He said, our plan is to go out and play, not to go out and defend. We will adapt to the situation. Guatemala will adapt to us. Quite the tone to take going into the first ever meeting between these two countries. And frankly, an attitude worth envying in the world game. Kelly Irep to throw, playing in the Cypriot First Division. One of the better resumes on this Guadeloupe side. There are players in French League 2 and the third division as well. Dimitri Cavaret is in the Swiss top division. It's not a side without talent. Malpon, who went into the starting 11 in place of Maverick Anaroz, the only change for Guadeloupe. Away from Phaeton. Irep. Free kick. Guadeloupe. And put in play by Solvay. Less than 40 caps on the field for Guadeloupe at the start. You see Angloma there, 55 years old. He played in that 2007 Gold Cup run that saw a draw against Haiti, a win against Canada in Florida in front of 20,000. This will bounce down. Phaeton. Referee looks in. Guatemala will play on. There is some magic for Guadeloupe here in the Sunshine State of Florida. A win against Canada down south in Miami. Tightly contested loss to Costa Rica. Scordillo, who got nutmegged, and in doing so, Phaeton couldn't get back around the ball. Pavel Pardo for Mexico scored the game winner in the semifinal, eventually knocked Guadeloupe out. It wasn't until 70 minutes into that semifinal that Mexico finally seized control. Frank Grandel won the best goalkeeper, and Gluma scored in wins over Canada and Honduras. So it's with the coach's confidence and experience that Guadeloupe believes they have a real chance here against Guatemala. Launched forward. Kept alive towards Ceballos. Header cracked toward Baron. And now Guadeloupe dangerously forward. Phaeton. Phaeton has space. Phaeton scores! They don't believe they're a Cinderella. They believe they belong. Guadeloupe has scored against Guatemala. Just his second game. He scored the game winner against the Bahamas in that shirt, and he's repping it again. Advantage was played. Guatemala totally strung out at the back, and Phaeton with a tremendous finish. His eyes as big as dinner plates, airborne as he watches this caress the back of the net. All well, Cavaret planted to the ground, well behind the play. Guadeloupe opens the scoring. Slide in, stays with Guatemala. It was a clean challenge. Guadeloupe said that Guatemala would need to adapt to them. Well, now they have to adapt to being a goal down. Guatemala, who dominated the Nations League C, Group C. Ball launched ahead, and at the edge of the penalty area, it's punched away by Thuram. And Jose Martinez on a full sprint makes good with Thuram after the fact. Thuram caught him across the face after he made contact with that ball. There are some who wonder about Villatoro's job security if this were to go wrong. World Cup qualifying was a bit of a fickle mistress to Guatemala, in truth. They did not lose. They're plus 14 in goal difference. They lost out on a tiebreaker for the next round with Curacao, who they drew 0-0, and ultimately had the exact same record, while Curacao had scored one more goal. Curacao went on to the second round and were ousted by Panama in a two-legged affair, 2-1. Robles. The passing from Guatemala has been poor. Mirval on the ground. Far and away, Guadeloupe's most decorated player on the field. Ten caps, 8 goals for Guadeloupe, including 7 in Nations League against Trinidad and Tobago. Another at Turks and Caicos and St. Martin. There's Robles going into the back. It's this extra little kick. Had Mirval especially perturbed. Ceballos wins a free kick. It's already starting to feel like Europ's going to have quite a job in front of him. He was playing at Le Havre in France most recently, and then moved to Cyprus in 2020. Just knocked out. Like French Guiana, Guadeloupe is a French department, which is to say they are not a FIFA-recognized team, but they are in Concacaf. Feton the goal in the 6th. Guatemala is looking to respond. And forcing his way into the penalty area is Lam. And Luis Martinez followed. Look back at the goal moments ago. Simply no support on the left-hand side. Pinto is beaten for pace. And Feton, who's got some experience in the French youth national team, played at the Toulon tournament, which is such a highly celebrated youth soccer festival in France. for France just 5 years ago. And if you peek around on transfer market, you'll see he is far and away considered the most valuable player on the field from a transfer perspective. Cavaret got it wide. Phaeton the target. Bounces out. Irep lifts the cross dangerously. Phaeton settles. This teed up. And with the deflection, Malpon watches this careen wide of Hagen. If that finds its way through to Mirval, it's probably 2-0. But even after the fact, it could have been. Ricocheted off Marco Dominguez and leads to a Guadeloupe corner. Phaeton bounces all the way through. Alphonse. This is as good an angle as you're going to find to understand just how close this was. Inches. Guatemala surprisingly down. 6th minute of play, the opener from Matias Phaeton. Guatemala has spoken about maturing game to game, learning how to handle pressure. Guadeloupe has won 5 in a row coming in. Guatemala unbeaten in 10. Something to be said about form, about belief, about mentality. That's where Guadeloupe can argue that they're the better. Rolled out, Cavaret. Potterville. Wide gaps from Guatemala in midfield. They've closed it down, but only to commit a foul with Edwin Malpon to ground. Playing it Clossier in Guadeloupe. Caught him on the toes. Belongs to Guatemala here. 15th minute of play. Guadeloupe seeking its 4th appearance in the Gold Cup group stage. Quarterfinalists in 09, semifinalists in 07. Closest they've come to an international title would be the 2010 Caribbean Cup, a finalist losing to Jamaica. And if you look over their roster, nobody was around for that. Malpon. Having those snug fit cleats reupholstered. Hernandez. Hagen. Pinto. Slide in is a successful one from Gordillo. And a strident run. Potterville beats Lam to the ball. Darwin Lam played his college ball in Davie That's a literal stone's throw from the stadium over at Nova Southeastern. Now playing at the stadium that David Beckham helped build in Fort Lauderdale, the home to Inter Miami. Ceballos, corner, Guatemala. Robles. Coming off his line. Net is empty, and it is in for Guatemala. The answer's there for Martinez. It is a catastrophic miscommunication for Guadeloupe. They've ceded their opening goal right back as Thuram left his line, didn't convincingly clear it. Guadeloupe had that covered. And Martinez pulls Guatemala level. A complete lack of communication. Going out over the top of Solvay. Thuram got something on it. Martinez left it to chance, but it still gets through the wickets. Guatemala on level terms. th minute goal from number 17. Swept along Phaeton. Options beginning to percolate. Phaeton muscled away by Dominguez. Saint-Maximin, Hotterville. Up out Alphonse. Mirval. Alphonse to throw, debuted for the side Nations League qualifying some 3 years ago. Born in France to descendants of Guadeloupe. Ball headed back. Phaeton, no, this from a long way out from Solvay. Hagen started 3 World Cup qualifiers and 2 in Nations League. Keeps the shirt for a second preliminary round game. Winner to Group C in the Concacaf Gold Cup. It means they will play Costa Rica in Orlando in short order. This has been available too many times. Phaeton switches the point. Red shirts swarm into the penalty area. Alphonse. Irep. Crossing once more. Skied. Cavaret. Cavaret, 61 games at Barnsley. At Lens. Looked like he was about to make quite the move. Major ligament injury derailed his 2015. And he has found himself into the first division in Switzerland, having been a French under-20 prospect once upon a time. Now he struts on the field in Guadeloupe red. Irep. Into Robles. And at this stage, you'd say good on the referee here. Fernando Hernandez has done well to keep the card in his pocket in what's been a really up-tempo game. Have a look at that scintillating battle. Ceballos gave it away cheaply. Galloping forward, Malpon. Phaeton. Malpon returns. (1-1). Phaeton in the 6th, Martinez off a breathtaking Guadeloupe error. 10 minutes later. Gordillo. Ceballos. Gordillo again playing in the Peruvian First Division at UTC. Peleg. Launched away, Barron. I'd argue this is a far more Guatemala heavy crowd. Jocelyn Angloma expected as much coming in. Said his press conference, we won't have as many fans. Have to be patient. Understand that the situation in this venue will very much benefit Guatemala in theory. To turn that over to motivation, you can see Guadeloupe find another gear. Solvet. Too far for Miraval. Dominguez to the feet of Peleg. Robles wiggles free. Creative run, Ceballos. Ceballos whipping this through. Came careening off of Darwin Lam. Much better from Guatemala. A 4-0 win over Guyana for Guatemala in the previous round. It's a bit of a misnomer. Guatemala didn't exactly walk through that game, as the scoreline would suggest. Beneficiary of an own goal in the 21st minute and a Keanu Marsh-Brown red card for Guyana in the 40th minute. It wasn't until the second half that Luis Martinez, Jose Martinez, and Darwin Lam each scored that it was put to bed. Become a bit disconnected now from Guadeloupe. Guatemala is starting to move the ball around with a bit more zest. It's made it harder for Guadeloupe's pressure to really rein in. Good effort from Solvet. Phaeton dances in. Phaeton. Pinto Corner, Guadeloupe. Mirval and Pinto lined up with one another. Mirval went leaping. Dignitaries from Concacaf in attendance. Not just Concacaf, of course. FIFA president Gianni Infantino is in attendance as well. You could argue that Guadeloupe and Guatemala have a far more expectant audience than they've ever had before. Martinez. Potterville. Rep. Solvay doesn't exactly look all that smooth doing it, but time and time again, he's gone slaloming through defenders down this left-hand side. Play will come back here. Mirval a bit overzealous, seeking possession. Pulled the chair out from under Pinto. Guatemala growing into this game. They trailed 6 minutes in. Phaeton for Guadeloupe. They answered 10, 11 minutes later. Been in the catbird seat ever since. That's a dangerous back pass and a heavy touch. Let's Guatemala off the hook and roll back. Jose Martinez pursuing. Potterville. Barron. Cabaret. Improved spell of possession here for Guadeloupe. 4th appearance at the Gold Cup. A win places one of these sides into Group C of Concacaf Gold Cup 2021. Phaeton in the 6th, Luis Martinez in the 17th. 1-1 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The stadium has already played host to some pretty notable events, international friendlies, but never an event like Gold Cup on the international stage. Home to Fort Lauderdale CF in USL League One, but also Inter Miami. Attack is on here off the giveaway. Guadeloupe into the final third. Phaeton is trying to do it all himself. He doesn't necessarily have the support to expect much more. Stadium's actually built on the previous site of Lockhart Stadium, which housed the Miami Fusion once upon a time. Bouncing ball in behind. Guatemala with the step through here. Lam just past the post. Lam looks exasperated. Starting his run in the nick of time. That first header could have made things more difficult, but alas, he's arguing that this deflected off Solvay last. However, I would imagine had that gone in, he'd be claiming the credit. Martinez wiped off the ball. Driving down the line, the touch by Peleg. Alphonse taken now by Guatemala. Ceballos is looking over his shoulder. He heard footsteps. Ceballos knew exactly what was coming here. Universidad de Guatemala, de Guadalajara, beg your pardon, is in Mexico, the second division there. A lot of experience in Champions League for Ceballos with Comunicaciones in Guatemala, however. Brief stints in the U.S. as well, Indy and North Carolina. Mirval. Mirval. 4 white shirts. Ceballos. Maybe with the University of Guadalajara, who was loaned to Guastatoya for a year. Still playing in Guatemala. Bouncing ball ahead. Guatemala wanted a foul, but they'll happily take it from here. Martinez. Still, Ceballos. Chips and a header down. Thuram all too happy to take over. And the other way quickly. Phaeton is in behind again. Big rebound left free and cleared away from Hagen. How could the neutral not enjoy this? End to end. Perhaps the only question that remains is which side runs out of gas first. Alphonse. Dragged that from behind. Another look at Phaeton in behind. Just showing off more strength than Pinto. And Hernandez was streaking in. Should that have needed a touch? Moses Hernandez did play at Dallas for quite some time. In the lower division in the U.S. at Rayo OKC, but also at Saprissa, giant club in Costa Rica. He's at Antigua, Guatemala now. 37th minute as Hernandez lays this forward. Hernandez once more, one of the celebrated Dallas homegrowns. in the earlier years of the FC Dallas Academy that's blossomed to something that's produced Pomacall and Shea, Ulloa and Acosta and Cannon and so on. Ball launched ahead, left-hand side. Came off of Harderville, corner, Guatemala. For sure, these are moments to be celebrated for Guatemala, but it's also a very cautionary tale. Guadeloupe has been able to play long, direct balls out of set pieces and advanced Guatemala positions on the field and find Phaeton and others in behind. There's the service. That's cleared. One back for Guatemala. Phaeton gave chase. Guatemala will reassert themselves. Robles. Now Pawn is there for Guadeloupe. Robles again. Dominguez. Hernandez. All body parts but arms were used in the making of this buildup. Phaeton is bounced by again. Phaeton's asking their numbers circulating in the box, but nobody there to help him. Suffocated out the service. Robles has to be careful here. He's losing his shorts. Ceballos. Throw Guatemala. 5 minutes to go before halftime. If Guadeloupe can get to halftime on level terms, they'd be ecstatic. And if they went in ahead, they'd be to the moon. Coming into the night, you would think Guatemala 1-1 at halftime. They'd be disappointed. The way this match has progressed, they've consistently improved over 40 minutes. Settled in midfield. Saint-Maximin. Galloping through. Referee looks on. The frustration reigns for Guadeloupe, and now Guatemala pushing into the final third. Thuram, all too happy to take over. And Alphonse remains down. It wouldn't have been a penalty, it would have been a 25-yard free kick had it been awarded. Instead, have a look at a tackle where it doesn't appear like he got much, if any, of the ball, and certainly got Alphonse's foot. one has to think that the redirected touch by Alphonse, to some extent, predicated the referee's decision. Alternatively, Guatemalan player over top of Alphonse. It was a different conversation. One more look. That may be a more clear vision of what the referee saw. You see the studs get into the inside of Alphonse's foot there, and well, you could argue that Gerardo Gordillo is going to be lucky to walk away from this without a yellow card as well. Alphonse, highly celebrated addition to Amiens in the French Ligue 2 after a 2-year stint in Ligue 1. Spent 8 years toiling in the 3rd and 4th division of France. 8 years before 2016 he finally caught his break and up at Dijon briefly. Will re-enter the field of play now. Veteran of 7 caps for Guadeloupe. Closing in on halftime now. This venue is not without Guadeloupe fans waving flags. But the preponderance of Guadeloupe fans to Guatemala fans, quite a different ratio. Clearance as far as Ceballos. Two additional minutes. Slid away on the effort by Dominguez. Hernandez starts down the left. Luis Martinez. Off the turn, Lam, who recirculates into the area toward the end line. And the ball across, Martinez teeing that up for Lam. Still for Ceballos. The crowd was hitting crescendo. This is a foot or two behind where Darwin Lam can try the unthinkable. Martinez effectively kept away by Steve Solvet. And he can only watch as a clash of feet sees Lam and Saint-Maximin collide. Thuram. No mistake, the referee was counting every second. And there's the halftime whistle. Guatemalan fans are clapping for now. I feel like they put Guadeloupe on their heels at the tail end of this first half. Matias Phaeton scoring a magnificent goal in the 6th minute. Guatemala responds through Luis Martinez, his 7th international goal. And Guadeloupe and Guatemala in this fight to see Group C will head to the second half at 1 goal apiece. Rain was falling when Guadeloupe and Guatemala took the field at Drive Pink Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. Finale in the preliminary round. Winner to Group C. Guatemala in front of a very proud crowd, trying to will them back to Gold Cup for the first time since 2015. For Guadeloupe, they seek their return, first time since '09. What a stunning start. Matias Phaeton in the 6th minute. Foul behind the play, and with Dimitri Cavaret down, Phaeton finishes the job. It's a solo mission And the speed at which they got downfield is all the more impressive when you see it from a goalkeeper's perspective. Nothing Nicholas Hagen can do. He's beaten by the perfect shot to the back post. 1-0 Guadeloupe in the 6th minute of play. If Guatemala was phased, they didn't show it. Began to turn around the 15th minute of play. Guadeloupe created another chance or two, including this deflected shot from distance. Malpon, the lone change in the lineup, seeking his first international goal, and it would have been spectacular off the deflection. Here's the mistake that turned the game back in Guatemala's favor. Made it 1-1, but changed the momentum with it. Thuram comes off his line, and from that miscommunication, Luis Martinez smashes it between the legs of Thuram, trying to get back to goal, and he can only watch. Martinez, second goal of the preliminary round, and from that, it became largely Guatemala's game. Darwin Lam twisting, and seeing this go wide off Solvay. And at halftime, Guadeloupe 1, Guatemala 1. Halftime statistics from Fort Lauderdale. Guatemala has more possession and more shots. You can really break it down more simply to this. There was before the Guatemala goal and after the Guatemala goal. The final 25 minutes of this half largely belong to Guatemala, but it's anyone's to have now. Guadeloupe 1, Guatemala 1.
The best way to follow the Concacaf Gold Cup tournament is by downloading the official Concacaf app. Stay up to date on goals, results, team stats, pictures of today's game, and much more. Download the official Concacaf app today. Available on iOS and Android. Follow the action of today's matches and join the conversation more on
Guadeloupe and Guatemala take the field in Fort Lauderdale, Florida for the second half of this Concacaf Gold Cup prelim. Group C awaits the winner as it stands now 1 goal apiece between a country of 400,000 and a country of 17.3 million. This Guatemalan side has felt tremendous consternation over the past half decade. FIFA suspended them in 2016 indefinitely and appointed an oversight committee. That ultimately led to their disqualification from Gold Cup 2017 and Gold Cup 2019. That suspension was lifted in May of 2018 with a fully operational normalization committee. It means this is the first time Guatemala has had a truly outstanding chance to reassert themselves on the CONCACAF stage. And the final 25 minutes were a stark reminder of what Guatemala can be. It's a side that in the 1960s was the dominant power of CONCACAF. They won the title in 1967. Runners-up twice over as well in that decade. They've never qualified for a World Cup. Guatemala and Guadeloupe now try to qualify for the group stage of the Gold Cup. Guatemala in white and blue move right to left in this second half of play. Guadeloupe scored in the 6th minute through Matias Feiton. Luis Martinez answered in the 17th. It's not that Guatemala haven't created good opportunities of their own volition, but the goal that saw this game level, one has to imagine, will stick in Guadeloupe's craw for some time. Goalkeeper off his line. The defender already had the ball under control. Luis Martinez pounced. Which side can come out of the locker room and wrest the momentum going into this second half? If we were to finish level, it would go directly to penalties. Such was the case when Trinidad and Tobago dispatched French Guiana in the opening game today. Haiti, a far more dominant performance over Bermuda on the scoreline, 4-1, 3-0 at halftime. Guatemala and Guadeloupe both playing with their food right now. Malpon outside. For Guadeloupe, so much of this has been correctly balancing the professionals and the amateurs in their midst. From Guadeloupe and from overseas, trying to get a collective mindset, everybody on the same page in a short amount of time. At times it's looked a tad disconnected, but you can't say it hasn't been explosive. Hernandez, who was once in the U.S. under-20 camp, now a decade removed from that time, in his 6th year playing for Guatemala's full national team. Free kick conceded by Solvay. Does seem like Guadeloupe is sprinting, running, getting after it again, and now swipes both ways. Irep, there's already a yellow card out. Now, red card incidents are among match-changing decisions or incidents that could be considered. So there's the challenge between Steven Robles and Kelly Irop. There's that little extra push there. And watch here. Is that up around the neck for question one from Robles? And conversely for Irop, is he swinging out after the fact? So you can see Robles was immediately shown a yellow card. Let's look at this from another angle, of which we have many. Look at that extra kick after the fact from Irop. That's what seemed to spark this. There's yellows to both. And that'll be enough. Just the 2 yellow cards. A little while. Infantino, FIFA president, and Victor Montagliani, the president of Concacaf, are sitting pitch side, watching that unfold. Corner, Guatemala, across by Ceballos. Robles will work quickly. Martinez hampered momentarily. Attempted a back heel, bounces through. Ceballos bouncing toward the penalty spot. Chaotic from Guadeloupe in the moment. And there's the challenge. It's won here by Guadeloupe. Malpon. And that battle rages again. Pinto and Feiton. Alphonse, watch this get away, slide in for Guatemala. Malpon is down. Martinez is asking for a card for simulation. It is a foul. And it is a Guadeloupe free kick. They have height, make no mistake. Hagen will need to be on his toes. All eyes on Solvay, number 5. This will bounce out in front, and Guatemala is able to get this out of the penalty area. That is a long half second that sat there. Feiton. Good header by Martinez. Take this out of harm's way, and the attack is on now for Guatemala. And they can't unleash down the right-hand side. Instead, Irep. The mood is turning a bit here. The rep is pointing to the right side of his torso. He was on that yellow card a few moments ago. Martinez. pounded. Recovered by Guadeloupe. Phaeton. Back off at your own risk. Phaeton spins, plays through. It is off the post from Mirval, but the flag had to be up. It is now. Full body length offside. Good refereeing to allow that to play out. The VAR is in Gold Cup for the first time in this 2021 edition, as was the case in Concacaf Champions League earlier this year. Alphonse. Saw Angloma there, 23 years playing in Italy, Spain, primarily in France. Won the Champions League once, played for the Champions League 2 more times. Reaching the final with Valencia in UEFA. Chested back. Cavare. Shuffled further. And away by Robles. With space, this deflects and knocked wide. Alphonse could have given Guadeloupe the lead after Malpon fired away, and Hagen did enough. Best chance by Guadeloupe in this second half. Turned over thoughtlessly by Martinez, but equally so, Guadeloupe returns. Pinto, who's always dreamt of the chance to wear the Guatemalan shirt. He waited 4 years between his time in the under-20s until he finally got the call into the national team. Foul. Sauvé. Kelly Irap will come out on that yellow card and seemingly gunning for a red. Put so much work into this game. All the while, Malpon with enough space to unload. And Alphonse on the first time watching this flutter outside the post. Thomas Pino has come on for Guadeloupe now as the first sub by either side. Ceballos. This is off the training ground. Dominguez. And allowed out by Johan Thuram. Who just came out. Johan Thuram to kick this away. His cousin Lillian won the '98 FIFA World Cup with the French national team. Thuram came up through Monaco. Has played for some pretty big names, both in France, also beyond its borders. And there's a yellow card here. Alphonse knocked down. This is Hernandez. He's grabbed a card. Alphonse stepped through, successfully won the ball. Well, it's the argument here of Hernandez. I believe the card is going elsewhere. Card goes to Luis Martinez. So Martinez has gone into the book. Initially cleared away. Space to explore. The ball across is headed away. Hotterville got up to meet it. Turned over here. And to ground, Phaeton. The winner of this fixture can expect to see closer to 20,000 in Orlando when they face Costa Rica to begin Group C play. The crowd that's assembled tonight has created a Gold Cup caliber atmosphere. An atmosphere that Concacaf so desperately missed. Playing a Champions League final behind closed doors. Unthinkable from a soccer perspective, but globally so much greater pain than this game could ever undo in the COVID-19 pandemic. And yet, atmospheres like this show perhaps these are beginning to return to something resembling normal. This will ricochet out. Guatemala is trying to return to normalcy on the field as well. Years on the outside looking in. Their way into Gold Cup needs a goal or it could go to penalties. Ball across on the corner. Second header through. Is lifted straight into the air. On target, whoa! Thuram! Pokes it over the crossbar. Hernandez denied. A series of headers concludes with Hernandez looping what would have just gone under the bar. Johan Thuram narrowly arriving in the nick of time. Corner, Ceballos. Headed down, appeal for a penalty, play on. Jose Martinez remains down. He's gotten back up now. It's given away cheaply. Guadeloupe has numbers. Alphonse. Cutting back. Now Alphonse will chase, retrieve, Serve to the back post. Watch this man, Phaeton! Big hand to that from Hagen. Still now. Play on, Malpone. Flung to ground. Turn back to Guadeloupe, and now a foul from Marco Dominguez. Dominguez, who was born in Montreal, played in an under-17 World Cup. Going beneath Cavaret. All the while, of all the places to leave an unmarked man, that curling effort by Phaeton. Hagen, the massive stop that Guatemala so desperately needed. Alphonse again. Play on. Bodies flying everywhere. Alphonse leads for Cavaret. Out to Alphonse again. Taken on by Robles. But still, Guatemala can't relieve the pressure. Thuram, both goalkeepers making magnificent saves in the last 10 minutes. Guatemala and Guadeloupe fighting for their Gold Cup existence. A breathtaking preliminary round game to conclude the finale of 8 here in Fort Lauderdale. Phaeton didn't feel Hernandez behind him, but still Guadeloupe. Guatemala simply need to put their foot on the ball. Well, Phaeton is barking for a foul. It felt like Hernandez had grappled him in the back. This is the Guadeloupe that Jocelyn Angloma promised. Fearless. Quentin Nanette waits to come in for Guadeloupe. He plays at Club Franciscain in Martinique. One of the players on the bench with more caps than average. And that average is about 4. Call it naivety. The mentality of Guadeloupe has been on display. Cavaret. Pinto. Rodrigo Saravia. Guatemala has handed his card into the official. If only there were a stoppage. Right now, this game is moving at 100 miles an hour. Cavaret, still not impeded. And there's no support. He's gone down. Referee says of his own volition. Potterville trying to close down. And with the stoppage, finally a chance to make changes. You just know Guatemala has so waited for this moment. Numbers thrown on the board. Marco Dominguez will come off. Briefly at FC Montreal and FC Cincinnati, he played for John Harkes, the USA legend, the Canadian youth national team. He cedes way to Rudy Barrientos, who captained the under-20s for Guatemala just 3 years ago. And Darwin Lam, who's playing in Nisa in the US with Cal United, previously at Chattanooga FC, replaced as well. Rodrigo Saravia in his stead. Saravia did spend time in Columbus in the US and at Swope Park Rangers, now referred to as Sporting Kansas City 2, after a decorated career at Florida Gulf Coast. Trouble in the back. How in the world did Turam not squeeze that? He left the door wide open to Matan Peleg. It'll be a corner. And Turam is so lucky that it's not that much worse. Did Peleg get a touch to that? He didn't get any at all. Rightfully a corner. The delivery, the header back across. Bounce out from Martinez. Martinez scored in the 17th. Hernandez nearly for Guatemala on the other end. Appeal for the handball with Cavare. The save by Hagen on the blast by Malpon. 19 minutes and stoppage separate this game from penalties. The Guada boys, Guadeloupe. This prideful nation matching up with one of the giants. And still no give. The referee's going to go over and check on this. Phaeton Hernandez were jawing once more. Here's Hernandez and Phaeton. Any love lost there? Phaeton is baffled. Guadeloupe sets defensively. Guatemala will fire forward again. Pinto. Ceballos. Fouled. Pino. Guatemala entering the penalty area, and Peleg watches this away. Peleg, born in Guatemala, adopted by Israeli parents at 2 years old. His entire career played in Israel, the chance to play in the land of his birth parents. Spoke to the mixed feelings, those emotions. Peleg could provide hope to Guatemala. The cross, the header down to Ram. On the goal line, turns away Gordillo. Hernandez and Gordillo coming together. It was Hernandez for the second time who challenged Johan Thuram. Martinez. Well, what a story by any standard this is. You think about the teams as Thuram's stop again comes to the fore. You think about the teams that are going through to the Gold Cup from Concacaf. The top two in each Nations League A group. Most often, those are the Giants. The champions of the Nations League B groups. Then this preliminary stage, one that saw Haiti and Trinidad and Tobago make their way in from Nations League A. This third spot is being contested by League C teams, champions of their groups. This was their only avenue. It's a late whistle, but a whistle nonetheless. Guatemala free kick. And Solvay has perhaps found he's running on fumes. Solvay going through really harshly on Jose Martinez. Totally unnecessary challenge. But both these sides were clearly the dominant powers in their groups in Nations League C. Combined 8 wins in 8 games, combined 45 goals scored, 2 against. There's something romantic about this matchup. As easy as it would be to say David and Goliath. No, it's Guadeloupe and Guatemala. Set piece for Guatemala. That's cleared and then lashed. Luis Martinez once more. Changes to come. He had waited to come on. He'll come on now. Quentin Annette will replace Malpon. Malpon offensively was dynamic, magnificent tonight after coming off the bench against the Bahamas. Mirval comes off as well. One of Guadeloupe's best scorers of all time in such a short amount of time. Maverick Anaros in his stead. Those are the second and third changes by Guadeloupe. And they will quickly become fascinating, the willingness of these managers to go for a winner as opposed to waiting for penalties. There is no extra time in the preliminary round. Do it in 90 or face your destiny in penalties. Peleg swung the cross through. That's punched straight in the air. Thuram. The slide allows play to continue for Guadeloupe. Doing the splits. This is kept by Barrientos. An injured player still down for Guatemala. And finally, play ceases as Guadeloupe takes complete possession. And the injured player is Marvin Ceballos. And then a moment ago, Thuram, at the base of his hand on that, didn't really control it. Lucky to see Anthony Barron lift it further out of harm's way. 10 minutes and stoppage time remain. Phaeton in the 6th, Luis Martinez in the 17th. Time is ticking away on one of these sides' Gold Cup ambitions. Guadeloupe no longer counts the leading scorer in League C, Mirval. Guatemala never had Eddie Guerra available to them for this game. Marvin Ceballos, the 4th leading scorer in League C, remains on the field. Anna Rose navigating down the line, the cutback ball, and there's the save, Hagen. Phaeton may not get many looks cleaner than that. Really intelligent to find space once Anna Rose had freed himself from the corner. Prelims inch toward the 90 minutes. Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, and one of these teams will have earned spots of the 12 initially slated to play. Lob forward. It's a bit late from Thuram, but he's there nonetheless. Jose Martinez chasing, and it's Barron who got the wrong end of that. He's trying to let the goalkeeper out in an effort to shield the ball away. Martinez, he takes punishment as well. Phaeton, what more does he have in his bag of tricks? A throw for Guadeloupe. The service cleanly away. Peleg forward. Jose Martinez whipped off the ball by Solvay. Second header keeps the ball for Guatemala. The slide in. Gordillo. Guatemala, their 11th ever participation in Gold Cup. They've only won 6 of their 31 games. With a 39-year-old manager at the helm, can Guatemala find a late answer. Will it be Guadeloupe? Their fourth appearance, 07, 09, 11. With a 55-year-old legend of a manager at the helm, unceasing in his expectations. Alphonse the step over. And it's a calm release from Guatemala. Phaeton's only 21, the youngest Guadeloupe goal scorer in their Gold Cup history, one that's seen quarterfinals and semifinals. They'll be in Nations League B with promotion. The upcoming campaign, their road to Gold Cup easier, more realistic. They've come out of Group C, firing here. Injured player, Guatemala, Marvin Ceballos. Ian Anna Rose. Displaced shin guard. Point to the sock. If there's any individual who better explains Guatemala's commitment, the Ceballos, his heavily dirtied shirt. Luis Martinez comes off. Oscar Santis comes on. 10 goals for Comunicaciones over the 2 short seasons that preceded. His next goal, if it comes tonight, might be his biggest. And then Wilson Pineda. Robles. One wonders if he had anything left to give. Those are subs 3 and 4 for Guatemala. Martinez capitalizing off Guadeloupe's misfortune. That was in the 17th minute. It feels like years ago. Sadavia. Trying to argue perhaps that belonged to Guatemala. There was no foul, it was simply an injury. And the last team to touch the ball, take possession, was Guadeloupe. Kevin Mosen is waiting to come on as well. That may wait. Young Guatemalan manager who led Guastatoya their first ever title. Locking horns with a manager whose playing career is stuff of legend. 37 caps with France and an additional 14 for Guadeloupe. And now Guadeloupe begins again. 2 minutes and what may be a sizable amount of stoppage time. Solvay. Gordillo. Peleg. Hernandez. Now Barrientos. Attempt to lift this in behind. Collected, Harderville. Captain's clearance doesn't make it all the way out. Santis. Santis and Barrientos just cleared from COVID protocol the days preceding the match. Neither were with the team leading up to the first preliminary game. End of the night for Morgan Saint-Maximin. This is the fifth and final change for Guadeloupe. Bouncing into the penalty area, snap header outside. Barrientos. Barrientos. Nearly to the back post. Nearly to Santis. 3 added minutes. Crowd began to cheer as if that was a handball. Does appear it cleanly went down the torso. 3 minutes separate us from penalties. A goal from here, and surely the team that scores will put their name with Costa Rica, Jamaica, and Suriname in Group C. The winner will bus up to Exploria Stadium in Orlando in the days to come. Far and away the simplest travel. 2 games in Orlando and a game in Houston against Suriname. A match against Costa Rica to begin on July the 12th. Next game would be on Monday. Goalkeeper is waiting to enter here. Perhaps this isn't necessary. Perhaps there won't need to be another keeper. Perhaps Guatemala has a winner in them. Clipped away. Alphonse away. Guatemala has 1 sub left, and they're using it on a reserve goalkeeper. Now this is the surprising part. Okay, all right. They put 7 on the board. It's 1. Boy, if they put a second goalkeeper in, that'd really change the game, wouldn't it? Hagen comes off. Hagen, magnificent. Well, now they're beginning to focus on penalties, aren't they? Ricardo Jerez from Comunicaciones. The throw in here, and it is full time. It is 1-1. Both goals in the first half. A spirited, lively affair. Penalties await. And on the other side, Group C in the Gold Cup. Phaeton in the 6th. Luis Martinez in the 17th. Thuram and Hagen were splendid. But Hagen's day is done. The 24-year-old gives the gloves away to a 35-year-old veteran who's been a pro for 16 years and capped 52 times. A game dominated by physicality. A wonderful goal by Phaeton, who lived up to the billing. The error, the only error, seemingly from Thuram. One botched service catch, one errant run off the line. A look in both the huddles. Guadeloupe 2-0 winners over the Bahamas. It capped off a perfect record in Nations League C, one in which they allowed just 2 goals and scored 20. Well, you could argue the Bahamas were one of the simpler opponents to get in the first round of the preliminaries. Surely they were looking down the barrel when they saw Guatemala on the other side. For Guatemala, perfect in Nations League C. 4 wins from 4 games. A young manager perhaps young no longer, managing from the age of 23, 3 years into this project in Guatemala, taking over at a time of immeasurable suffering for the Federation. Now, in Fort Lauderdale, a chance to change their fortunes. For the second time tonight, there will be penalties. Ricardo Jerez is the son of Ricardo Jerez, who played in the 1988 Olympics for Guatemala. 53 caps now. A distinguished career with well over 300 appearances, many of which came over an 8-year stretch in Colombia, the Alianza Petrolera. Father, 64 years old, surely watching somewhere. A roll of the dice, perhaps. And regardless of how this ends, of this we can be assured. Guatemala has re-announced themselves. They've been promoted to League B in the upcoming Nations League campaign. This crowd has been buzzing from the opening whistle. There is pride in this Guatemalan football team again. For Guadeloupe, they've proved they belong. They have been off the Concacaf Gold Cup stage for a decade. And with a legend on their sideline, they've been promoted to League B. Their road moving forward may be more arduous, but far more fulfilling. Penalties start now. Guatemala will shoot first. Marvin Ceballos will look to set the tone. Thuram, the former French youth international, has provided the moments Guadeloupe needs. Ceballos, put it over! A total shock for Guatemala to start. You never would have expected it. Ceballos had been magnificent tonight. His teammates surround him. They brought in Ricardo Jerez Jr. in the final minute of stoppage time. With this in mind, Dimitri Cavaret for Guadeloupe. A save for Jerez undoes Ceballos' miscue. Or Cavaret gives Guadeloupe the advantage. Jerez with exceeding confidence. Cavaret! Make no mistake, more difficult than ever to judge what some of these players will do. They aren't all the biggest names. They don't all usually take penalties. Jerez sent the wrong way. Cavaret gives Guadeloupe the advantage. Jose Martinez. Will he force Thuram to make a stop? Martinez down the middle. A stridently taken penalty with so much pressure. No one feels more pressure than that man. Amarini Viatorro looking on, helpless. Phaeton scored in the 6th. His second goal in as many games in a Guadeloupe shirt. Now in the shootout. Phaeton, 2-1 Guadeloupe. For the second time, Guadeloupe shooter goes to the right, Jerez goes to the left. Oscar Santis brought on the dying minutes in pursuit of the go-ahead goal. Santis Scores by Thuram. Thuram was gesturing. It took perfection to beat him. Thuram was gesturing out to that side, and Santis squares this into side netting. The only place he could. 2-2. Anthony Barron, 28-year-old playing in the French 4th Division. To keep Guadeloupe in the lead. There's the stop. Jerez. Penalties are level at 2. They brought in their ringer, and he has answered the call. And all the while, he had him dead to rights, and Barron puts it over. Two. Now Guatemala can have the advantage for the first time. Rudy Barrientos. Guatemala has the advantage. And now Guadeloupe are only guaranteed one more kick in this Gold Cup. All the blue in this stadium painted pink. Barrientos sends them into a frenzy. Maverick Anaroz. For Guadeloupe, it's as close to must-have as you can imagine. Jerez is ready. Anaroz delivers. And now there is no coming back. The weight of the world is on Hernandez's shoulders. Hernandez sent Thuram the wrong way. Guatemala is on the brink. For Guadeloupe, the shooter has gone right the first 3 times, went left the last. And after such a well-taken penalty by Hernandez, Guadeloupe, who never viewed themselves as Cinderella, and perhaps amid confusion about whose moment this was, must convert now. Hernandez, who had words during the game, yelling out to Steve Solvay. Hernandez likely saying something to the effect of "Don't mess with Texas." Here it is. Guadeloupe's Gold Cup relies on Steve Solvay to keep Guadeloupe alive. And with a smile to the 6th round. Rarely do you see so much bad blood coming from one game. These two countries had never seen each other before. Wilson Pineda, late entrant to the game. Can Guatemala maintain their advantage now? Pineda. Only once as Turam guessed correctly. He didn't even make the stop then. Guatemala's only miss was over the top. Same can be said of Guadeloupe in the third. But Pineda has answered the bell. And now Guadeloupe must do it again. Quinton Annette. Perez is ready. Annette to keep Guadeloupe alive. Remarkable how close Perez was to ending this. Those long limbs towering into the air, unable to get a touch. The Annette's penalty. 5-5 after 6. Jose Pinto, the 28-year-old who's always wanted to wear this shirt. A lifelong dream. Pinto. Pinto for Guatemala. And the pressure resides on Guadeloupe once more. And now Jerez one more time. Once upon a time, he went 941 minutes without conceding a goal. It was a Concacaf club record. He's capped over 50 times, the son of a legend. He can establish his legend here tonight. Pino for Guadeloupe. Pino keeps it alive. At least 2 kicks longer. Six of Guadeloupe's 7 penalties have been to the shooter's right. Cabaret sharing a moment. Rodrigo Saravia played in the U.S. at Florida Gulf Coast, in with the crew in Kansas City. Now for Guatemala, Saravia. Brilliant. Pounds the back of the net. That's an unafraid penalty. This Guadeloupe fairy tale now turns to its captain. Ronan Hotterville. Guatemala can end it with a stop by Jerez. Hotterville. It's in! It's in off the hand of Jerez. Guadeloupe gets life. Wow. Jerez has guessed right more than he hasn't, and still Hotterville converts. Turam looks on. Right down the middle from Peleg. To the land where he was born. Peleg wearing a Guatemalan shirt with such pride. And a brief moment of inspiration to the goalkeeper who can send Guatemala on a Gold Cup journey into Group C. Kevin Mosen, the final sub for Guadeloupe in regulation. Mosen on to a 10th round. Unreal. I don't think I'm exactly shocking anybody when I say this is now the longest penalty kick shootout in Concacaf Gold Cup preliminary history. Trinidad and Tobago earlier tonight passed by French Guiana. Guadeloupe taking on Guatemala now. This is the final field player who had not taken one. Gordillo, the defender. Gordillo has it saved by Turam. He's scored such big goals. He's scored against Club America. He scored in the Champions League. But the 26-year-old center back sees Turam, the victor. In that individual matchup. And now, this is it. Guadeloupe can taste it. Alphonse to end it for Guadeloupe. The save! Jerez! He's answered the bell again. Both 10th penalty takers have their kick stopped. And instead of being in their hands, it'll be at the goalkeeper's feet. Round 11. Jerez came in to stop penalties. Surely he never thought he'd take one. Against Turam to give himself an advantage. Jerez, like he's been doing it all his life. That makes most field players blush. And now, Johan Thuram to keep it alive. Thuram off the post and in. We're going 12. Remarkable from both goalkeepers. With the fate of this shootout resting on their right pegs, both are up to the task. Back to the top we go. Ceballos missed over the top to begin the shootout. Ceballos. Oh, he missed it again! He rolled it wide. Simply unbelievable. Oh, he had him beat. He's overthought it. Dimitri Cavaret went right first time, sent Jerez the wrong way. Guadeloupe to the Gold Cup group stage if they convert now. Dimitri Cavaret for Guadeloupe. It's over. Guadeloupe to the group stage of the Gold Cup in penalties. The Guadeloupe faithful never doubted. Cavaret steps up and scores the spot kick of his life. Ricardo Jerez Jr. did everything in his power. He got his hand to the 8th penalty that could have ended it. But it is Guadeloupe who are through to Group C. Monday, they will see Costa Rica. Matches with Jamaica and Suriname to follow. For Guatemala, soak it in. Soak it in if you're Guadeloupe. And a message without words from Dimitri Cavaret. These fans, they aren't speechless. They're in delirium. For Guatemala, fans who pack the stands, a result so unthinkable. A Gold Cup that ends before it even begins. A 1-1 draw in regulation. And Guadeloupe, under a manager who never failed to believe his side could stand up to the test, Jocelyn Angloma, are through to the group stage in simply scintillating fashion.
Estamos con José Pinto, capitán de la selección de Guatemala. José, lamentablemente no logran la clasificación, pero ¿qué se lleva a Guatemala en la participación de este torneo?
Pues estamos muy dolidos, muy tristes, la verdad, por no haber clasificado a Copa Oro. Creo que era un objetivo muy claro, pero pero no. Pudimos formar un grupo muy unido, una familia que luchó hasta el final. Lastimosamente las cosas no salieron, pero el fútbol es así, ¿no?
¿Qué opinan del oponente que se encontraron el día de hoy, Guadeloupe?
Un rival que fuerte también, que sabe jugar al fútbol. Fue un lindo partido, un buen espectáculo. Nos fuimos hasta los penales y eso pues está claro que fue un buen partido, ¿no? De parte de los dos buscamos ganar el partido. Lastimosamente no lo pudimos hacer en el tiempo reglamentario y en penales quedamos eliminados.
Gracias.
It was just last year in Concacaf League that a Guatemalan side, Comunicaciones, went 18 rounds only to fall to